What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We are back with another Musume video. This video, we are going to be training Mejiro Ramonu for the upcoming CM for mile distance. I just want to give her a shot. Pretty much is going to use the same setup as yesterday, where I'm going to see if I can get the amount of stamina that I want. Because we did get pretty close. Pretty close. To where I wanted it, so I wanted to see if we can get an improvement on that today, along with possibly getting better stats on, I think it was guts and wise that was on the lower end. So we'll see how it goes. Just pretty much still testing out this just gonna see if it will make an improvement from yesterday's, because obviously yesterday's could have been better if guts and wise was better stats wise. So going over the cards again: Almond Eye, Teo Speed, still using the Daring Heart, Guts card, borrowing it, Forever Young Wise, Tamamo Power, and then my Tazuna Wise, Tazuna Friend card, and that is pretty much it for the setup. So with that being said, before we jump into the comments and go over and start the run, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. So yesterday, if you guys did notice, obviously y'all probably have noticed that my videos were uploaded in a weird order. It was literally the reverse of what I wanted to upload them. My Wuwa video came out first, the summons. And then my global video came out, which I guess technically that's still in the same order because it's a second video. And then my JP video came out. Yeah, that I don't know what happened yesterday. Literally, I think for a training video, it was basically an hour, but it was still shorter than like a little over an hour or close to an hour 15. But for whatever reason, usually that would take like a good 20 minutes, if anything, 30 to upload. An hour on a questionable day. But yesterday was the first time I seen it go to like 2 hours and a half plus, and I'm just like, all right. Then I uploaded the other two after, because my assumption was, before uploading all of them, my assumption was the JP video was gonna finish before the global video before I get the global video up, but no. So I ended up just starting to record the Wuwa story while everything else was uploading. And of course, I guess it just went by whatever was shorter first, because obviously my Jingxiao video came out first, the polls at least, and then global, because it was shorter than JP and then JP. So I wasn't able, well, I chose not to post the story videos yesterday for the simple fact that I had the feeling that the uploading time would be a pain. I thought it would be a pain because for one of the stories, the second story, which is the segue, whatever, after story in a way, in a sense, it was about 20 minutes, that one, and it took me about an hour to upload that, and I was like, if that's gonna take an hour, how long is it gonna take for me to upload a close to 5-hour video? And the answer to that was Longer than it should have, because I was uploading it from 5 p.m. and while I was waiting for it, I did the first act of the Snezhinaya story in Genshin. And by the time I finished the first act, for whatever reason, it still had 2 hours and a half, 2 hours to 45 minutes by the time I was done with the story. And that was, or with the first act, and that was about 4.5 hours. Close to, yeah, about 4.5 hours. Not 4.5? Yeah, like 4.5 hours. So I was just confused, like, what the heck happened? But I have it uploaded. I just need to get all the information down. But yeah, if I had uploaded that right now, it probably wouldn't be up until, shoot, noon maybe. But I still got to record Shu Defense. I know last week I said Shu Defense when I was talking. This week is Shu Defense. Last week I should have said Deadly Assault, but this week is Shu Defense. But basically, the story for Wuwa, if y'all are curious, is about 5 hours, or just, yeah, just 5 hours in general. About, depending on your pacing, I guess. Depending on your pacing, I guess. You're probably looking at, I don't know, maybe 3 hours if you're just speed running it. I say 3 hours, like, I don't know. Would it be around 3 hours if you're speed? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, pretty much, like I said yesterday, besides all the Wuwa stuff and all the, I just hope it doesn't happen again today, where I'm uploading and it's taking 2.5 hours to upload a normal Pretty Derby video that I normally post. Around the same length, so it'd be kind of confusing, and I hope that I get it up. Hopefully I just get it up before noon if that's the case, which I should. If I don't, well, that'll be very questionable on my side when it comes to the, either on YouTube's end, or actually no, yeah, it should be on YouTube's end, because internet wise everything was going fine. Everything was going fine. Nothing was going wrong when I was watching YouTube videos, when I was playing Genshin while uploading, no lag whatsoever. Plus, I wouldn't think that me playing at the same time as uploading is an issue, because I've done that many times in the past. many times in the past. It shouldn't be a factor. So yeah, confusing. Pretty confusing. And I didn't have that issue on uploading issue the day prior when I recorded NT and all that. So I don't know. Other than that, did I do anything else? I realized in Wuwa that there's like nothing going on in the event section. I mentioned it on my Qingxiao video polls, but either they're popping up later on a later date, or there's really nothing to do in phase 1. Which I guess that gives me time to complete more of my exploration. So yeah. Plus I might have just realized this, but I don't think we are like in Wu at least, because they keep talking about Mengzhou, but we're obviously not in Mengzhou because we're in, what is it, Xuanfang? I think we might just be like on the outskirts or outside of Mengzhou, but yeah, I feel like there's still more to this because it just feels like we haven't been there this whole time. At least that's what it feels like. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'll probably just have to take a better look at the map. I feel like we probably are. It's just how it is in the story so far, but it is what it is. I did play the story, obviously, as I mentioned. And yeah, I can definitely say that we are fairly still what feels like in the beginning of the arc. A lot of things are still a lot of things are still left unexplained or whatever. So makes sense. We are still in the second arc of the story or second act of the story of since we got here, so or got to that part of the story. So I guess time will just tell. Time will just tell. I don't actually know how long this is gonna go. Maybe another 2 acts. Maybe another 3. I say 2 to 3. I think that would be in maybe. Although they did mention, oh, I don't want to actually mention it since the story literally just came out not so long ago. Never mind. I will stop myself there. I will stop myself there. I'll just wait until like after the weekend. If y'all didn't finish by the weekend, well, sorry. I'll probably let's hope I remember to say spoiler alert. By then. Other than that, did I do anything else? I did get started on the event I was talking about in Genshin. I do need to. It's easier than I thought. All it pretty much required me to do is be in Snezhnaya, so I should be able to get it done over the weekend. It shouldn't be bad. Also, I'm gonna say this. With how this Genshin has gone, and now we're finally in Snezhnaya, and how like Traveler pretty much has interacted with most, like a good maybe half to most of the harbingers of the Fatui. I'm kind of here like it kind of just feels like we're part of the Fatui ourselves, even though we're supposed to be enemies, right? In a way, that was pretty much the impression in the beginning. although Child kind of made me question that in the beginning, because I was like, although we did go against him in Liwa, he doesn't really essentially feel like an enemy. Same thing with Sanjone and all that. So yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I do need to do my weekly still, the weekly stuff for like Zenless, because I want to do the new thing they added that we can get the weeklies from out of it, from like the Hollow Zero or whatever. And I think Wu I still need to do it as well, because I've been pretty much occupied with doing story since like last week. For yeah, just story in general, story stuff. Yeah, because what last week, or even like a week and a half ago, I was starting to catch up with like Star Rail, while also did the Lino operator mission. And then after Star Rail got into Genshin. Then this week with the whole NTE UA adding into it. It is what it is. It's fine. It's fine. But I guess with that being said, we can start going over the comments. Maybe we'll be able to finish the comments early. Maybe the video will be shorter than yesterday's. Maybe that'll be a good thing, because the shorter the video, will obviously the quicker we'll upload. So just in case of just in case of things repeating itself for whatever reason. The last time that did happen was a few months ago. So I don't know if this is just one of just random moments. And hopefully today's just normal. So starting off with the comments. Well, let's see. What's my plan for the weekend before I get into the comments? Finish Genshin. Finish. There is the Zenless camera picture event, picture combat event, I believe. Along with that Genshin event that also needs to get done, besides me having to do the story and the world quest so I can have more access to the map. And I also find it interesting in Snezhnaya specifically what the Hoyo did with the new sword they gave us. You level it up through the goddess statues, which is pretty interesting, I would say. And I do like a lot of these Snezhnayan characters, like Odette and how do I say this one's name? The other one's name. I forgot how to say the other one's name. It starts with a V. Let me see. I think they said it at like Vodianitsa, something like that. I think it was something like that. Yeah. So far, my opinion on the Snezhnayan characters that they've released, I like them. I don't know if I'll pull for Odette though, even though she would work on the Sanjone team. I don't know. I just also want to see what this other character can do, or what she's gonna be for. I just don't know. The other thing is just Genshin, for whatever reason, like I said, is out of all the games, is the games where it feels like the game that feels like we don't get as much currency as free-to-play players anymore. Like, yeah, there's the end game content, but that's pretty much it. If because there's barely any events going on for whatever reason. So yeah. It's funny, I still haven't completely... Well, I have all her artifacts done, but I just still need to finish or gather the materials for Sanjone's ascension and all that. And for her weapon ascension stuff, so... And her team's exactly not complete, like built-wise, because I did pull Yai Miko later on, but she's only like level 70. I don't know if the weapon I gave her, because I don't think I have her actual weapon. But the 4-star weapon I gave her, if I don't have her actual weapon, I don't think I've leveled it up. Then I got to build other character. one of the has 9 characters. That's a 4-star that can work with Sandrone's team. Which is essentially, if you know how good Bennett is as a support, he's essentially the Snezhnaya Bennett. What was that other spot? Was it still Escoffier? I don't know. I'll start remembering if if I use them more, but I'm still using my Skirk team. Which, for whatever reason, I saw that Pridwin posted their first tier list on Genshin. I don't follow Pridwin when it comes to tier lists or tier lists in general. I just look at him for sheer curiosity because I saw Skirk was there for and it was put expert, but I've been using Skirk since she was released, and there is nothing really hard or expert about using her. She hits like a tank, and I don't even have her weapon. I literally gave her Ayaka's weapon because I didn't get Skirk's weapon. My rotation is start with Farina, then go to Escoffier, then Sitlali, and then Skirk, and just go ham with Skirk until it starts with the cooldown. I don't exactly know what's the whole expert thing about Skirk. There's also some questionable spots, I would say. Like, in my opinion, like Farina should be still one of the top supports, and for whatever reason, she's just lower than I thought she would be. So, yeah, it's just pretty confusing for whatever reason. But it is what it is. Other than that, I'm gonna start going over the comments now because I don't think there's anything else I should to talk about. So let me actually refresh to see if any new comments had. No, okay. So the first comment is from someone I haven't seen in the comment section before, and the name is Cross Agnes Tachyon Glazer. So I'm assuming Tamamo Cross, a fan of Tamamo Cross and Agnes Tachyon, or in this case, a Glazer for both of them. The comment just says, nice. Thank you for the comment. Cross Agnes Tachyon Glazer. Appreciate it. Maybe we'll see you in more video comments. Maybe. Maybe we can get that going. Next comment is from Asta. One thing I realized after the Wuwa 3.6 story, Shin's whatever bust size is now going to be larger than Cantarella, or at least on par with hers. Her outfit compresses things a bit, yet the volume clearly shows they are huge. And yes, I'm bold enough to say this. I'm not afraid to talk about it. You afraid, apparently. Or a question mark, I would assume, even though there's no question mark. No. If you know Nova, begin with. Nova has been a big fan of huge assets, or in this case, bust size, if you want to talk about that. I guess assets in general. We'll just go with that. The whole entirety. I would say they would be, from what I remember, from the story, she could be on par with Cantarella. But, like, Cantarella is like if we're gonna talk about the example of the Gooner character or Goon character, well, it's definitely Cantarella over Shin or Ishin. I would say. I feel personally. I still think they could be on par or equal, but I think we need more screen time, which will come later. Which will come later. I guess the best comparison would be if once I pull for her, because then I could compare the two in game, and then we could have a better. I could have a better look at it. And I'll give my opinion there after. But I would say Contarella might be either a slightly more, if not they're equal. Slightly more, but as also if you've paid attention, I have also, when it comes to you afraid part of the comment, no, I've clearly made it clear many times, even recently in a couple videos, that well, when Eugen was still commenting, because Eugen just disappeared, probably from playing a lot of Ragnarok, maybe, or he just disappeared for whatever reason. He's been doing this once in a while, where I'm in between what Nova and Eugen likes, apparently, because I'm more neutral. Except when it comes to size, there's a limit to how big, so to speak, for me it can get. I don't know about Nova. Nova just likes it. The bigger the better is Nova. That's just how he is. And to go piggyback off I think it was last week or a week and a half ago. This is where it's a prime example of when you were saying like you don't know me and all that. Well, in this case, you don't know Nova as well, because we've had this conversation a good amount of times in the past, even over the time you started commenting. So, yeah, this would be a perfect moment to, or time to start remembering things about like Nova, what he prefers and all that. Because what Nova replies says, "Well, I wouldn't expect anything less," and that shows his excitement. That shows his excitement for what's for him to see in the story in relation to your comment. Because I don't know why you would respond to Nova saying jealous with a question mark, like you're trying to be all smug about it for whatever reason. It sounds like it. I could imagine you saying that, a person saying that with a smug face. Whenever I see jealous question mark, it's kind of like a smug remark or reply. And then Nova's like jealous of, with an emoji, like a surprise emoji in a sense. Exactly exactly what I would have been replied also. What would I be jealous of? I don't know. I'm pretty much in the same boat as Nova here if this was in response to me. I don't know what to be jealous of. I don't know what to be jealous of nor be afraid of. So, yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna still give it to Contarella until further notice, but if anything, they are pretty much even, is what I would say. But thank you, Asta, for the comment. Appreciate it as always, and Nova for replying. Because I would be confused too. If I would be confused too, Nova. Next comment. It's gonna be between Tanoki or Kazuki. I think we'll go Kazuki since there are a few more stuff with Tanoki's. So first one says, see what I said on the past video, if you want to train Wise, there's only one card, and if you train it for the last two, you can get 1600 plus Wise, the recommended stats. And of course 2150 plus for the speed, the recommended stat. If you train Wise, you can also get speed stats. This RNG and the new scenario is surely getting on my nerves. It's like I said. RNG is not a new thing. And Pretty Derby since day one. If it's getting on your nerves now, I'm gonna say it right now. You should have been used to the RNG by now. You should have been used to it within the first at least half year. If you're only realizing how bad the RNG can get when it comes to training now, like I said a week or two ago, whatever video you said that on, well, you better buckle up and get used to it now. Because knowing your history, you might get burnt out just because of the RNG if you got burnt out from building echoes in Wuwa. And I would say that I think you would quit. I would feel more inclined to get echoes than I think if I was in your position, I'd probably feel more inclined to go with echoes if you're letting the RNG of the training get to you. Because if it's not echoes, then which you can quickly get echoes and farm them and read all that, or over here you're training what 45 minutes to an hour per one training. Yeah, I think someone would get more burnt out and tired of training rather than farming echoes, especially if you're used to building artifacts and all that from the past games. And we failed a training. I think it's been a while since I failed a training. I don't like that. I don't like that. But next comment from Kazuki says, ooh. See that I could do this again and it's gonna be like, oh, I can't. Alright, well let's do this. And dang, I haven't done any any dates with the Tazuna card. Okay, we gotta use a good amount of that then. At least 3 or 2 more of it in the final year, the senior year. Jeez. Anyways, the other comment from Kazuki says, I thought I finally get Pandora Mama-san on my main account, but I got Inari 1 OG instead using the 1 free pull daily, bro. Why not Pandora Mama-san, though? It's because they figured out you had gotten her in your alt account. I got, and then by the way, I skipped the animation, so got a surprise rainbow flip. Well, I wouldn't. Well, if it's the free single pull day, I wouldn't blame you for going for skipping. Nova says, at least you had a rainbow. My luck with these single pulls are always sad. Yeah, for the most part, we don't get anything. But yeah, at least you got a rainbow. Because I haven't gotten a rainbow from these single pulls yet. In a while. In a long while. Well, the free ones at least. I know it's been a while since I've gotten off a single pull myself, because I don't feel inclined to keep pulling as much. Well, as much as I did before, but you're in a whole different level, Kazuki, like Nova has compared. If Nova thought I was would unhinge about pull, I think unhinge might be an okay word to say, right? If Noah thought I was unhinged before when it came to my pulls, he probably definitely thinks you're way more unhinged, or he definitely thinks you're more unhinged than I am when it comes to pulling in this game. I have tamed myself to where I'm just pulling when I feel like I should be pulling, because I have passed on a good amount of characters Umas that I had wanted in the past. Other than that, thank you Kazuki for the comments, appreciate it as always. What to do here? We do need more stamina. This is fairly bad for stamina. Next comments are gonna be from Tanoki, and then we'll be going over Novas. The first one from Tanoki says, well, yeah, if you're going for points, it's still the same as always. That said, even the top 30k bar moved up from 31.6k to 31.9k points. Still sub 32k though. The fact that I haven't reached 30k yet, like I said, my whole goal is just to reach plat 4. I can honestly careless about going higher than reaching 30k because that would be more than what I know I'm capable of at the very least. So yeah, at the end there were actually 3 perfect scores on a leaderboard. I don't know. In terms of why, it's because second was a streamer, so it's easy to follow the timeline, the grind and preparation, then day by day stress of literally one match able to knock them out, and then the bittersweet feeling of not even finishing first with a perfect score. If only it mattered for me. I don't know. I don't know how to respond to something I don't really necessarily care about. On the streamer thing though, League of Heroes stream hopping is so fun. Many hopefuls at the start, but they die fast. Eventually, you're hopping onto just those dozen streams that are still alive. Not just streamers too. I know a couple lads who are T96, T300, and T1000, plus a lot of people who hit 30 to crate for the first time, including myself. Well, I would say that the only thing I necessarily cared about here was you reaching 33k yourselves. So in that sense, I will say congratulations. But on the streamer thing, though, I don't think we were essentially talking about Pretty Derby streaming. I don't think so. Because the only comment I can think of from yesterday's video was when Nova was talking about live streams in a sense of for the other games like Zenless, Star Rail, and all of that. At least that's my understanding, or what I remember when it comes to the whole streaming topic from yesterday. Because I don't watch other people play the game. I don't watch other people play most of these games. I'll either way. Like, I'll see funny shorts and all that or whatever, random shorts at this, but streams, videos of any of the games I play, no. That's a big no. Like, I'll be familiar with some YouTubers or whatever that does play these games, but I won't watch them. I won't watch them because I'm pretty much essentially doing the same thing, playing what they're playing. So I know what's going on. At least that's how I feel. So yeah. Like, when you say T96, T300, T1000, I'm just like I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't know what essentially I'm assuming ranks, but essentially I don't know what you're talking about. So it's not that I really don't care. It's just more that I just don't know how to respond to this because it really doesn't align with something I do focus on or essentially care about, which is why I say I don't care about, because it's something I don't worry about or look at. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Which is also to your next comment. In any case, it's shaped out to be 70 for T96, 140 for T30, or T300, 300 for T1K, and 1230 for T10K games. They're like, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. If you want, if you want to go back to the whole funny thing about with apparently me hating numbers, I just don't know what numbers these are about. Or I'll go back to what I said at that time. You're showing me numbers that one, I don't know about, and two, don't really really look on or care about. So I don't know how to respond to it. You're giving me numbers, and I'm just here like, but what does it have to do with what I know or look at? But you said my point score for mid 33,000th in February would barely squeak into the top 10. I wouldn't know why. I wouldn't know why. So I'm just gonna go with your word because I don't know. I don't know essentially what this entails. It's partly medium distance being more stable, but the dramatic tightening even further up is due to the double inheritance passes. Gone are the, I guess this, you mean negative 500, right? Because negative 70 for 296. I meant negative by all that. I still don't know what this is all about. Gone are the negative 500 top 1K days. Or minus 500 type days. I'm assuming this is what I'm gonna think. I'm assuming the minus insert number is the points you can essentially lose, like getting second, third, fourth place. I don't know, something along those lines. that is me trying to understand what you're saying, but I don't get it because, like I said before, these are numbers I don't know, so essentially I don't care about these numbers. It's not this is just like me looking at, like, going through math homework, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother going over the replies. All I see is a replies or conversation between Kazuki and Tanoki about the, I guess, rankings and all that. So, like I've said, for me, it's essentially something I don't look at. So I'm just gonna let that be. But thank you, Tanoki, for the comment, and Kazuki for replying to the comment that I didn't necessarily go over, because yeah, there's a good bit of that, and usually I don't mind going over it if I can kind of jump in and put my own input, but I don't feel like I could put any input into this little conversation you have, because it's about rankings, I'm assuming. And I don't essentially care about rankings, especially if it's the League of Heroes. Well, that's pretty much it, right? There's nothing else when it comes to rankings besides League of Heroes and Pretty Derby, so yeah. Not that I don't essentially want to dismiss it and all that, it's just I can't have my own, I can't put my input in this if I don't look into these things. So don't take it the wrong way, I just don't know how to respond to it. If you take it the wrong way, well, I already said don't take it the wrong way. You're giving me something I don't entirely know how to reply to, besides the fact that I don't look at the rankings or care about the rankings. So yeah, other than that, I'm gonna go over Nova's comments, and the first one says, yes, now this is the right Uma video. It was the last video that got uploaded yesterday, so, well, yeah, the last video got uploaded yesterday. 30 global video. Which makes me wonder, did you comment on the global video then? Let me take a look. You did! You did! That's funny. Is there an update or any new comments on the JP video from yesterday? No, everything still looks the same. Next comment from Nova says, actually, Sigrid can work with Dial-In and Suna. I'm running that for the time being. I did mention Dial-In, didn't I? Or did I not? I do remember that Dial-In is viable, but I was like one of the last options, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. Well, it's like I said, even I don't have Suna's W engine, so I've already explained the fact that I could use Suna, but without her W engine, I feel like I am lacking a lot of things from not having her W engine, because I could literally feel that my Angel Delusions team is weaker without it. For whatever reason, I just feel like that's the reason why that team feels weak. So like I said, unless Claret is going to work with Sigrid, I'm not going to pull for Sigrid, even though if I do like Sigrid. It's more of a account decision rather than just pulling for whatever I want. It's for the sake of my account. In relation to my account. Yes, I could technically use her with Dial-In and Suna, but even though my Suna doesn't have her W engine, but I'm not gonna just pull just because. Especially knowing Claret's there, and I don't know what Claret's possible teams could be. If Sigrid does end up being part of that possible team, like I said, I'll pull for her towards the end. But if not, then it is what it is. I ain't pulling for Sigrid. Claret is also electric, and I'm like, it could be anything really. So that means that makes her an electric armor. Whatever that means. Whatever an armor is. Well, I mean, we can't really go off the element Nova because I'm gonna say it again. Zenless does not focus on mono teams. Zenless does not focus on mono teams a lot. Although, it's funny, I say that because you can use Sigrid with Lycon and Sokaku, like I said, if you had them built already for the old Miyabi mono team. Or even, I guess, Ellen, maybe? Maybe, at that time. But I don't. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick to see if Claret will work with her. If not, then Sigrid's not getting pulled. I guess all your Will Rocks went into that weapon for Sweet. I'm in the same boat since I gotta farm the previous exploration stuff first. I might as well just wait and chill since I'm not pulling the dude anyways. Oh yeah, I'm doing exploration after I do catch up on Genshin and all that, since I'm almost done with it. I'm gonna go focus on Wuo when I can, just so I can explore, get some more stuff, so I can pull and get more stuff later. But yeah, Sweet hurt when it came to the weapon. Sweet hurt when it came to the weapon. Enfield's next operator has already been leaked, and it looks like to be... Was it Typhon or Typhoon? I think I saw that that the Enfield Twitter accidentally posted it, but I thought it was I thought it was supposed to be the proxy, the Fergamon Baronmoot proxy. I'm pretty sure she might be the case. Because from what I saw, it was supposed to be, how do you say the name? Sir? And the next two banners should be her and some guy. At least that's what I saw. But let me see. Was there already a stream? I guess it's between the two, if not both of them. Because both their models was revealed apparently in the 1.4 live stream. So I guess either or, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't be wrong then if they were already revealed in game. So I guess it's all right. But I want to say maybe so, because she was already revealed in the story, which would make more sense to be revealed first. But then I guess that wouldn't be the case because Camille was released before Arcane. So I don't know. I mean, a few other characters got released before Mifu also, like Tong Tong, and well, I guess that's fine. Tong Tong and Fang Yi got released before Mifu. So I guess it is what it is. So I'm gonna have to pull regardless. I have to grind those events too this weekend, but it won't be that bad since Enfield's events have been kind of mid for the most part. Hasn't it been like that since the beginning, where the events were kind of just like, here you go, here's some events for y'all to do, and that's it? Well, Shushu, you're still growing. Plat 4 will come when you least expect it. My first one was the actual Dirt League Heroes. I think I almost had it really like close, like 2 times in the past year. I think. I mean, I'm always within range, like in Plat 3, but I'll just wait till it happens. It's like 100 gachas easy if I just go random shopping spree, but I don't know, man. I want it to be 100 gachas that I do care about. Well, I did say that would be the easy way, but I meant to say like maybe the ones like you're questionable about, or you had maybe some interest but you're still questioning about. You just give it a try, because why not? You never know. Instead of just picking the ones that you're for sure. If you really want to try and reach this 100 gacha goal, I feel like that would probably be the only way you could do it. Probably. Probably. If not, then you're probably not going to ever reach 100 gachas if that's what you really want to do. Wait, casinos have monthly cards? I said membership cards, not monthly. Because obviously, if you become a member, then you're gonna get perks, monthly perks, I would assume. So, which in a sense you can get free credits to play. Pretty sure that's how it works. You can get free credits to play and all that. But in all seriousness, I don't view this as an addiction, because the most obvious proof is that I'd give up gachas for IRL stuff. That shouldn't be called an addiction. I mean, we did both make it clear. For the 2 guys that play the most gachas, we both made it clear that if you got stuff to do IRL, that takes priority. So I don't know if that meant anything to Tanoki, because if we're obviously putting priority to IRL stuff, then I don't think that necessarily means we're addicted. So yeah, I don't see it. I don't see how we're addicted if we do prioritize IRL stuff. NC gives you a stupid amount of free-to-play resources just by logins and events. That's how I feel anyways. I would say the Hunter Exchange is very, very good. They do give good enough resources. The problem is the amount of characters they want us to build, it doesn't look that way at the moment. It doesn't look that way at the moment because my resources are so low, pretty darn low, regardless. I guess that's the tourist mentality I have for Genshin and HSR. Genshin more so just because I have a bit of history with it. HSR is just completely random curiosity. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's just for me, like I said, I rarely even watch live streams for the games I play. Rarely, if not ever. The most I'll do is take a peek if I get really curious. But especially for games I don't play, yeah, I ain't watching no live streams. And like I said earlier, let alone do I watch other YouTubers or streamers that play the same game as I do, because when I'm watching YouTube or whatever like that, it's more things that aligns with my interests. Like, yes, these games are part of my interests, but if I'm gonna look for a video, or they're just gonna be doing what I do, and I already have enough of that myself. I already have enough of that myself. At least that's how I feel. Like, I don't want to watch someone just literally play something I literally just did. Like, for example, if someone had just did the 3.6 WUA story, I'm not gonna watch someone else do it. I already experienced it myself. Or maybe the Tower Adversity. I ain't gonna watch someone do it, especially if they're not using the same teams as I am. And plus, if I can clear it myself, what's the whole point of me watching someone else clear it? The only time I actually look into something when it comes to, I don't even ever, would be like exploration, I think. Because I have gotten lost in exploration trying to get somewhere. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Decisions. Do I do this for the sake of getting this over 1100? Or do I do this for the sake of getting this over 1600? I think we'll go with the 1600. Next comment says, recent story. Wait, is Hotori involved? Hotori was basically involved for the most of the story. She was just in the back end because she was talking to Alphard. I mean, she did appear maybe for a bit. Or was on the phone when that whole thing with Natalie happened in 1.1 when the island. And then, well, she wasn't obviously involved in the last, or in 1.2, because that was all about Mint, Shinku, and Iroi. And then in the beginning in 1.0 and 1.1, she was pretty much there. Hotori has been involved this whole time. Especially in the sense of that she was pretty much trying to look over Daffodil. And all that, which is why, probably most likely why she went to Alphard, because of Daffodil. So to say that she wasn't involved is beyond me, because to me she has been involved since the beginning. Since the beginning. The one who just joined and was given more attention was definitely Chaos. But it is what it is. But it is what it is. Holy, I'm hype. Also, the Chaos hate is real. Shoo. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. To me, Hattori has been involved in the story this whole time. That's why I bring up the whole story argument doesn't work, because Hattori has been involved, and if you play the most recent story, yeah, I would say that Hattori mattered a lot more than all these other characters who had gotten skins prior to her. So yeah, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. Like, come on. They literally released one paid summer skin, and that was for Chaos. And in turn, they gave us 3 summer skins off the mystery box, essentially. And one of them being Natalie. Alright, we're Natalie, then Zero, then Mint. So still nothing about Hattori. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna I'm still gonna just be here being like, where's the Hattori skin? Until then, I'm just gonna be thoroughly convinced that the devs don't like Hattori. It's gonna take a lot for them to change my mind. It's gonna take a lot for them to change my mind, because that's just how I see it. That is just how I see it. And then yay, high five fellow skippers. Are we talking about Linko? I think that was because of Linko. But other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the comments. So I'm gonna refresh to make sure. Oh, I didn't like him. Oh, thought I did. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any more comments. So with that being said, guys, that is gonna be it for the comments. So thank you, Kazuki. Who was that new one? The Cross, Agnes, Tachyon, Glazer, Asta, and Tanoki for the comments. Appreciate it always. And Nova. I don't know if I said Nova, but thank you all for the comments. Appreciate it as always. And now we are gonna just do all this and the, oh no, this and that. I gotta record Zenless right after this, or should I edit and upload this and then do Zenless just to be sure? Just to be sure, because if it takes 2 hours again, at least it'll be 10 something, or 11 at the latest. Should I just risk it with the I don't think Shield Defense should take me long. I'm gonna just bank on that. I'm gonna just bank on that. And hope all goes well. Ended up at 2214 speed, 1126 on stamina, 1705 power, 1303 guts, 1663 on wise. A little bit better. Actually, yeah, a little bit better than the cap run yesterday. About the same guts, a little bit more on stamina, maxed out power and speed if I'm not mistaken, and then big improvement was wise. But I didn't get any S aptitude, so a little bit better than yesterday. But definitely, I think this setup might work if I can get guts higher. If I can get guts higher and maybe stamina 1200, it can probably be better. But I'll probably be sacrificing wise, so I don't know. We'll see. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are up to for the weekend. Let me know who you guys are bringing for the upcoming CM. And if there's anything else you want to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined our Discord server, link is down in the description down below. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope y'all have a good weekend. And with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. As always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.